Good evening. Well, it certainly has been a most eventful couple of weeks for British boxing. Barry McGuigan forced to retire by Jim McDonnell, the Dark Destroyer Nigel Benn eclipsed by Michael Watson, and Sammy Ritson's bid for the WBC Cruiserweight title thwarted by Carlos de Leon. But tonight, Geordie Glenn McCrory goes for another World Cruiserweight title, the vacant IBF version against the African Patrick Lumumba. McCrory, a patent failure as a heavyweight, rehabilitated as a cruiser to take Commonwealth and British Championship honours. And Lumumba, a tough handful from Kenya, but now a Swedish national, comes to this fight as an underdog. He admits to only 11 fights in 5.5 years, and he's been inactive for 13 months. Well, this is the first world title fight ever to take place in the Northeast, and I can tell you that Glenn McCrory will not be short of support here at the Louisa Centre in Stanley, because he lives just down the road. That familiar partnership of Reg Guthridge and Jim Watt will be ringside, but now let's get the official introduction from the Master of Ceremonies.
My lords, ladies and gentlemen, the main event of the evening, on behalf of John Spenceley, Cedric Kushner Promotions, sponsored by Budget Windows and Derwentide Council, the International Boxing Federation World Cruiserweight title, 12 3-minute rounds of boxing. Introducing on my right from Kenya, he boxes out of New York, US of A, Patrick Lumumba. On my left from Anfield Plain, Derwentide, Glenn McCrory. At the weigh-in today, McCrory scaled 13 stone 8 pounds, Lumumba scaled 13 stone 5 3/4 pounds. Your officials this evening, your referee from Hackensack, New Jersey, Mr. Randy Newman. Your judges, Christian Woolerson of Portsmouth, Virginia, Bernie Frederick of Brooklyn, New York, Michael Giella of Chicago, Illinois. Your supervisor is Bob Lee Jr. of Plainfield, New Jersey. Your inspectors, David Ogilvie, and so timekeeper Albert Kelleher. Right, ladies and gentlemen, the International Boxing Federation World Cruiserweight title. Thank you.
So very much the first close-up attention time for young Glenn McCrory there. And this is a real hard nut, Lumumba. Jim Watt and I have seen him fight in America. He came into the ring sweating profusely. But it looks as though Lumumba's going to fly from the start. 13 stone 8 pound division is between light heavyweight and heavyweight. The vacant International Boxing Federation Championship of the Cruiserweight division. So the first Northeast man to challenge for a world championship. And what a feat it would be.
Seconds out
Left hook from
for
where he
round
was virtually,
one.
if he could bring it off. Bit of problem at the weigh-in last night. IBF insisted it's 24 hours before. A pound overweight McCrory, but he shifted it okay, and that's why they make some boxers now have to weigh in the night before, so that's not too much of a strain to get weight off. Just as well, we've got a strong heavyweight referee, former boxer Randy Newman. This is his 12th World Championship fight with the IBF. McCrory has taken stock of Lumumba. He watched him box in Atlantic City when he defeated Alonzo Ratcliffe. And then they used Ratcliffe as a sparring partner to get some experience. So he really has done all the groundwork now, and now it's when it all matters. Lumumba, Jim, in a contest on the Bruno Witherspoon bill at Wembley when he defeated an ordinary American heavyweight called Walter Santamore. He's a bit deceptive, Jim Lumumba. He sort of strikes when it suits him and then has a little sleep when it suits him, from the contest I've seen him in.
Yeah, but he has not a bad technique. It's been a good, positive, sharp start from McCrory, but throughout his career, I've thought his chin has maybe been carried a little bit high, and a couple of times already he's been caught with his head up in the air. He's going to have to, if he's going to hold his head high, he's going to have to step back out of harm's way a little bit quicker, or either that or get his chin down.
Well, in his heavyweight days, of course, he suffered a bit, Glenn McCrory. Cruiserweight Curry knocked him over at Oldham. But he's come on a lot since then, and surviving almost 100 sparring rounds with Mike Tyson, the man himself, is a great feat, and he's even got a signed certificate to prove it, and was never on the deck. Half a minute to go in the opening round. Oh, what a good left hook. And he's... For a minute, I thought he was acting, but nobody could act that badly. What a turn-up for Glenn McCrory. If he can stop this fella in the opening round, is he going to run out of time?
Lumumba's really gone here, Reg. He's all over the place. He should be taking a counter, grabbing hold of McCrory. I don't think he knows where he is. What a lovely left hook from McCrory. That must give him all the confidence in the world.
Well, I tell you, Jim, when he first nailed him with that punch, it looked as though he wanted to do a silly take-off of Ali. Then you realise he was really hurt by it. I mean, he was almost like a rag doll in there.
He was shattered by that punch. That got him all the way down to his ankles. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know where to go. He should have taken a counter, grabbed hold, but he did nothing. He just stood there, and he's very fortunate still to be in this fight. Wait, you see this left hook coming. And look at his legs all over the place. He's stunned. He doesn't know where to go. Down he goes.
And there's the overhead shot there. It really is a remarkable performance, because I've seen Lumumba, and believe me, he's a real hard nut, and that's some punch. And if that's what McCrory's learned from Mike Tyson, well, now can he carry it on? All the confidence in the world, and he's done it the hard way. He's come off the gold cue to make it in this game. Second round then. No, he's got to be careful and pick them nicely, Jim. He mustn't fall in like that, way short.
Yeah, but he's still in control of what he's doing. McCrory hasn't gone in too hot-headed. He realises that Lumumba's probably recovered from the effects of the punch, but at least he knows he has the power to shake him up, and obviously he'll be looking for that shot again.
Well, I tell you, 13 months in activity, and I suppose even with the hardest of sparring with head guards on, Lumumba wasn't ready to get tagged with a good punch like that. And there's no point in him as he came in showing contempt for McCrory. He's had to pay for it.
I think Lumumba's been shocked by that punch. I think he's been looking at McCrory's record and believing that he didn't have the power to trouble him, but he knows different now.
It's actually only... He stopped 9 opponents out of 25 wins, McCrory. Now you can see why he doesn't get too many fights, Jim, because the opponents don't fancy the style of Lumumba. He's so awkward.
He's beginning to land some kind of dangerous-looking punches of his own now. McCrory's going to have to tighten up a little bit and just pick his shots.
Got to get out of that corner. can't blame McCrory trying to bide his time. He can't fall in and get tagged by what the old-fashioned sucker punch. So coming up then to the end of the second, scheduled of course a 12-round championship. £13 stone 8 pounds, right on the button, Ben McCrory. Second attempt, 13 5 3/4 Lumumba. Jim, this is where Lumumba started to get a little bit back in this replay.
A couple of dangerous punches from Lumumba just in this little spell, but Lumumba's never really been able to put punches together. McCrory's moving around well, taking a few chances here and there, but his own punches are very good.
Well, as I say, he was pouring with perspiration when he came into the ring. Now they'll have to throw a lot of water over him to revive him at the end of the first.
Seconds out, round 3.
And we're into this third round then. Glenn McCrory from Anfield Plain in Durham, and Lumumba from Kenya, and became a Swedish national citizen, and now is working out in the Don King camp in Cleveland, Ohio. McCrory's not riding those punches enough, Jim. As you said earlier, he's holding the head a little bit high and tight, isn't he, there?
Yeah, well, Lumumba's really putting on the pressure here. McCrory would be better advised, I think, just to survive for a half-minute or so before he comes back into it. He doesn't want to trade with Lumumba. Although he has the power to shake him, as we've seen, he can't afford to take chances. And Lumumba wouldn't keep this pace going. McCrory would be better just being a little bit careful and get back behind the jab, keep his chin down.
Picked up a great deal of experience boxing in America, McCrory, with Bo Williford, a former heavyweight who runs a good camp in Louisiana. 50 members, believe it or not, of the McCrory family here tonight, so he's getting all the encouragement from outside the ring. So we're midway then through the third. To go in the third, and he's flailing away with a lot of punches here, Lumumba. The bookmakers made McCrory favourite. I think that was well, showing a bit too much loyalty there, because on the form, Lumumba really was an even money shot, whatever happened.
Seem to be a little bit shaky again there, Reg. Every time McCrory lands with a clean shot, it seems to be shaking him up, so obviously he has the power to finish this.
So now I wonder what Bo Williford's inside the ring on his knees. There he is, the American is saying now. He's really transformed, this lad, because he had quite a losing run at one time, enough to dishearten most people. and then came back, won the Commonwealth and the British Championships at Cruiserweight. Now this McCrory replay, Jim, here, he started to flick some punches out there and got through.
Yeah, well, we've seen a big improvement in McCrory's punching in this fight. Performance all the way around.
Seconds out. Round 4.
Well, at the start of each round now, we're coming out for the fourth. Lumumba's doing a few exercises in the corner even to get himself going. And there's desperate signs. Use the jab now for Glenn McCrory. Well, he didn't quite take advantage of that, Jim. He slipped him nicely and then missed.
Yeah, but too bad. But the main thing is he has the moves, and a couple of times I felt McCrory's just one punch away, one clean punch away from being champion. He's shaken Lumumba up a few times. Although most of the good punches he's taken himself, he's taken them high, they haven't troubled him. So he just wants to keep his wits about him here. I think he knows now he's good enough to beat this man.
I'd like to see him use the old-fashioned, what was called the English straight left a bit, Jim, because this fella's made for it, isn't he?
Yeah, I would like to see him just be a little bit careful for the first half of this fight. He's taken quite a few chances, but he's gotten away with it. But a couple of times taking the chances has worked for him. He's almost got Lumumba out of there. But he wants to be nice and careful, because I think with his long, accurate punching, he can inflict a lot of damage in the second half. See, when he stands off, leaves himself a bit of room, his long, accurate punches are troubling Lumumba.
Minute to go in this round, and referee Newman reminding Lumumba not to pull the opponent on. So there they are, the straight punches, far more effective now with McCrory. The judges come from Virginia, Chicago and New York, if it does go 12. Too late in the round, or is it? About 15 seconds to go. Remember, if he went down, the count would continue. It only stops in the last round. While he's had the drink, the referee's walked over and just had a little gargle there. He's feeling the heat as well, and is packed full at the Louisa Centre in Stanley.
Round 5.
And we're into the 5th round of this championship fight then. International Boxing Federation at 13 stone 8. And the WBC champion is Carlos de Leon, who defeated Britain Sammy Reeson recently. Previously held by the very popular and good fighter Evander Holyfield. And a Frenchman, Belbouli, holds the WBA version. He chops the punches at strange angles, Lumumba, Jim, doesn't he?
Yeah, this is about as dangerous as we've seen Lumumba. He's showing a little feint now before he throws the punch. And yep, he's a little bit of danger now coming from Lumumba. This is where McCrory doesn't want to trade with him. He wants to just to back off out of there, keep the chin down and get out of trouble. Don't trade at this point. The pace will slow down maybe in about half a minute or so, then McCrory can come back in again.
So word from McCrory's corner, Bo Willie, but he's quite happy with the way it's going, but he wants to try and get his man to back Lumumba up a bit. I think they're relying on the Kenyan blowing a bit of steam towards the end of the contest now. He's been known to fade a little bit.
Well, Lumumba seems to do his best work at the start of every round, so it'd be good policy for McCrory just to be a little bit careful for the first minute or so, and then come in to do some work in the last 2 minutes and to win the round. But Lumumba has been very dangerous at the start of this round.
Minute to go in the fifth. I think all that American sparring, and particularly with the hard man Tyson, has made McCrory durable, Jim, but I'd like to see him get back to a bit of boxing. He could do that. He certainly did in his amateur days anyway.
He's taken that little right hand over the top from Lumumba. McCrory hasn't been quite so effective in this round. And there again, that's that left hook. A couple of times it's got him out of trouble and put Lumumba in trouble. It's really working well for him today. There it is again.
Keeps going into that left hook. And the crowd on their feet here. Are we going to get yet another sensation in an ITV fight? It doesn't stop happening. And they haven't heard the bell, though. I don't think, but Randy Newman's querying. He's saying, has the bell gone? Yes, it has. Well, I tell you, it's almost getting a waterfall on him there to try and pull him together. The guy in his corner has worked with a lot of American fighters. The man on the outside is 78 years old, Eddie Mafouz, who's handled world champions over the years. So let's have a look with our overhead camera at this replay, Jim. Where's the left hook?
Once again, late in the round, and the left hook has put Lumumba in all sorts of trouble. Once again, I think McCrory's one clean shot away from finishing it here. Look at Lumumba all over the place, doesn't know where to go. Again, he's doing the wrong thing. He should be clutch and hold here or taking a count.
Second out, round 10.
10th round of this vacant Cruiserweight Championship for the International Boxing Federation version, 13 stone 8. And Britain's Clem McCrory. Jim Watt and I have him ahead now with Patrick Lumumba all right. He almost finished it at the start, but we're hanging in there by the 10th round. This very difficult customer who always looks as though he's going to fall over the Kenyan, but doesn't. Well, from the training reports, we would think that McCrory's trained the hardest of the two, and the inactivity of Lumumba has obviously gone against him here, 13 months out.
Yeah, well, Lumumba's wasted a lot of punches, wasted a lot of moves, whereas McCrory's kept nice and compact, always in control of what he's been doing. It really has been a first-class performance so far from McCrory.
Easily lifting with the locals there. The whole crowd there giving the McCrory chant, and plus 50 members of his own family. good, smart round here by McCrory, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's been a good, smart fight all the way through. Complaining about Lumumba's head there, I think a little clash of heads inside. But obviously they're both feeling the pace now. But McCrory's still making sure Lumumba doesn't land any of these punches. When they get inside, he's tying him up, leaning on him, pushing him back, maybe breaking a few rules. But it's the right thing to do. I certainly feel he's in front, and I think he feels the same.
Well, for his sake, let's hope the judges from Virginia, Chicago and New York also agree with that if it goes 12. Referee doesn't vote. Well, I wonder what's going through this fellow's mind now. He's a long way from home, isn't he? Living in Cleveland at the moment. Swedish national citizen, comes from Kenya. And here he is in the heart of Geordie land. So there's a good local, isn't it? The off-feeders from Petman, Tim Healy. Don't have to ask who he's supporting.
Round 11.
Round 11. So 6 minutes to go now. Can McCrory become the first world champion from this part of the world? First to challenge for it anyway. And with cleaner punching and more effective hitting, Jim Watt and I certainly have him ahead. But we're wondering how the American scoring is going to go.
Well, at the end of the last couple of rounds, Lumumba himself's going back to his corner, shaking his head. It's as though he even feels himself things are not going his way. I certainly have McCrory in front. His punching has been better all the way through, but he hasn't got too much in hand that he can afford to start backing off. He'll have to keep pumping out the punches and keep in the fight.
Yeah, strange enough, the Bo Williford in McCrory's corner has just signalled to us that he thinks his man's miles ahead. I would say there's no doubt about it, Jim, but, you know, we've been around enough to know you can't really tell how the Americans are viewing it, the American judges.
Well, I mean, you have to ask yourself how much success has Lumumba had, and you can't ever really remember him having a real good round. But we can remember plenty of good bursts of punches from McCrory all the way through. A couple of times he almost had Lumumba out of there. I can't see any way he's not in front at this point.
Shot that one. Maybe we won't need the judges' scorecards after all. In the 11th. He almost did it at the start, McCrory. Can he do it near the finish? He's almost rubbery legged, isn't he? He's falling all over the place, Lumumba, but for some reason or other he's still standing up. Can he make it or not? What a good conclusive victory now. It's the B for McCrory.
So there's Lumumba shaking his head again. I think he's had enough. I think he knows who the better man is.
Just look at the crowd now on the feet there. They're sensing their man's in there. Randy Newman will give Lumumba every chance, but he's getting nearer as though he's going to dive in. Watch this now. No, he can only break them at this point. He's using the ropes to almost prop himself up there, doesn't he? Exaggerates the pain a bit, I suspect, Lumumba. Look at that. doesn't need more than this shower bath that they're giving Lumumba now, with a round to go. And he really is out on his feet. They're totally exhausted. The referee's just gone over and said, is everything okay there? Jim, this is where he's really under pressure. It's all over bar the shouting now.
There goes the left hook again. At this point, I don't think McCrory realised how badly shaken Lumumba was. They were into a clinch just after this, but he really was badly shaken. Another lovely left hook.
So it's nice and calm and a bit collected down that corner, and have that little friendly kiss. They've got a great bond there, McCrory and Bo Williford.
12th and final round.
Championship for us, he's saying, as he's coming up for the last round, and the crowd on their feet. What a good sporting crowd they are anyway.
Well, the 11th was another big round for McCrory. I can't see any way he's not at least 4 rounds in front here, Reg.
Yes, I'm certainly not arguing with that. It might be even more, because they might have given a full point in those rounds. The two that McCrory had this fellow rolling all over the place. Doesn't automatically raise the winner's hand, as you see in the British fight. Got to wait for the judges' cards to be collected and okayed by the IBF supervisor, Bobby Lee Jr. It's almost a fairy tale story, Jim, isn't it? The fellow had to go to the States to earn some money sparring. He was on the dole. He had a winning run that then turned to a bad losing run, almost near retiring.
Well, it certainly paid off everything. It's what I've noticed so much about him tonight too is his concentration. I mean, 12 rounds, he's been under pressure for a lot of those rounds, but his concentration has never lapsed. He's always kept his wits about him and kept everything under control. As I said earlier, it's the best performance I've ever seen from McCrory, and there's no way he's not going to go home world champion tonight. I don't think Lumumba has even the strength and the power now to trouble him.
Well, I think the chance says it all there, with 60 seconds to go now. A little bit of boxing history being made. Introductions of new weights, I realise that. And it's a little easier to win these days in terms of so many available. So it looks like being a championship fight without clean knockdowns. But on the other hand, look, Lumumba's been more than once in trouble, to say the least. So the countdown has really begun now, and it's McCrory all the way, and he can really afford to take a few chances now and make absolutely sure he's pummeling away with punches right above us on the ropes here. And there it is. The crowd know it. Certainly McCrory knows it. And Lumumba's walking around head down. And the security are all around the ring like sentinels there to stop anybody diving in before the decision is announced. That's a nice touch. The former champion, TJ, is that Jim, going over and congratulating McCrory? I think it is.
Yeah, but that's him, Reg. And there's no doubt in anybody's mind, even Lumumba, who the new champion is. Fabulous performance from McCrory. All the way through, wits about him. Good punches, good moves, best of shape, and a good luck to him.
Hendrick scores the contest 116-111. Judge Michael Gliana scores the contest 118-111. Your winner and new Cruiserweight champion, Glenn McCrory!
And there it is then, unanimous decision, 118, 110, 118, 111, 116, 111. So he really won it in style there.
Glenn McCrory, ladies and gentlemen, the IBF World Cruiserweight champion, Glenn McCrory.
So there it is, the IBF belt.
Glenn McCrory, many congratulations. The Northeast's first world champion. You must be delighted you had the fight of your life in front of your own people tonight.
It's a dream come true. It's a dream that I've cherished since I was 12. Many people said I would never get here. Proved them all wrong. I'm here tonight, champion of the world.
Jim Watt, who's had the same world champion feeling, said he's never ever seen you fight better. Would you agree with that?
I've never wanted something so much. I've never tried as hard for something so much, and yeah, I've never been as happy.
We thought you might have ended it in the very first round.
Yeah, I caught him with a great shot, and I tried real hard to finish him. But he's a cage-old pro. Yeah, he's worked long and hard with Tyson, and I was just glad to hurt him. But I kept my composure. It got grueling through 12 rounds, and I kept on top all the time and never let him get the initiative.
I can remember you, if you'll forgive me for saying so, you've had a hard fight already, so you're not going to hit me as a fat heavyweight going nowhere.
That's right.
And now you're champion of the world.
Well, I got some fabulous people behind us now. Bo Willovitz, Cedric Kushner. Yeah, I'd like to thank them, John Spenceley. Yeah, people who's worked very hard in getting us here. Yeah, they had lots of faith in us, and I'm just proud to do it for them, to do it for my wife, and to do it most of all for the Northeast.
I was going to say that a final word about the support you had here tonight. You did have thousands of people with you, didn't you?
It's fabulous. It's